dust storm, man.
Nobody calls Han Solo a bitch.
Bring him on. I prefer a straight fight to all this sneaking around.
I don't know where you get your delusions, laser brain.
Oh, come on, bro. It's the wars.
So one of the really fun things about talking Star Wars every week is how you get to reevaluate things as new news trickles in. This is The Wars and More. I'm Joe, and of course with me is my good buddy Doug. Hey Doug, how you doing this week?
Doing pretty good, Joe. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. So, that is an absolute blast, isn't it? It always keeps the conversation going.
Right. Yes.
Week after week after new updates.
Well, there's always the things that, you hear about, so you think you know, and then come to find out what you thought you knew, you did not know because it wasn't true. And, all of that. That sort of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing with rumors and stuff like that, too, is like, they're ever changing.
Yes.
Especially the made up ones, because they don't even remember what they said.
Yeah, that happens a lot. And if they do remember, they just kind of like brush that under the rug. It's like, did I say that? I don't remember saying that.
Oh, I must have got confused.
Right.
What I meant to say, yeah. Yeah, so reevaluating. So last week we talked about the town of Marlow, right? And the big Star Wars set they were building there.
Yeah.
And how residents in the village there were, is it village, town? Whatever. Village, town, city, whatever it is. Village. Were not pleased with all the commotion.
Right.
While that may be true, some residents were not pleased, it seems that maybe the majority are either happy about it because it's, why wouldn't it be cool to have something, done right up the street? Put your little village on the map, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or they're indifferent, like, whatever. As long as they don't bother me.
Gotcha. Okay.
And as long as they don't leave a mess when they leave, right? We don't need an Olympic stadium or nothing, right?
Right. So, an Olympic stadium. I like how you put that. So what are you saying here? This is all okay now?
Well, it seems that way. So there was a poll done that asked, voters in the area how they felt about it.
Okay.
And it seemed 60% of people that were asked about it were positive.
Okay.
Positive, hoped it would bring, much needed business to the area, right?
Right.
Anytime you have something like that, there's going to be a lot of people there.
Yeah, a lot of people needing to find cafes and eat. Yeah, that kind of stuff. Sure.
So, yeah, it's going to spark the economy in the area. The diners and stuff are going to do well, you would think.
You certainly would think.
So, yeah, that's a positive. And then about 30% said, yeah, impartial, not concerned, as long as it's returned to its original state when they leave, right?
Right.
Don't leave a mess. Happy to have people over, but clean up after yourself.
Cool. So clean up after yourself. You mentioned leaving it as it was before they came. Now, there was talk of them being there for like 3 years, right?
Right.
So, okay, that's going to be a long, ongoing project, and then the teardown afterwards. So, yeah, quite the commitment.
Yeah, it's a commitment, but
yeah.
That leaves 10% to be upset, right?
Oh, sure.
So, the way it kind of seemed last week was like they were just short of picketing it, right? Like,
yeah, it sounded like the whole town. Now, Now, granted, 10% is no insignificant percentage, but it is a little different than what they made it sound like last week.
Right. It's a far cry from like the village is upset.
Yeah, torches and pitchforks marching on the Star Wars set.
Right. We don't serve your kind here.
Yeah, exactly.
So no, it's I say 60% being happy. That's a pretty good percentage.
Sure.
And 30% is just like, meh, whatever.
Right. Those are the ones who when they're interviewed about this is I don't know, they're doing some sort of Star Trek project over there.
Yeah, they're making some space wizard movie over there.
Exactly.
And the 30%, those are the ones that are like, as long as they don't start blowing shit up at 3:00 in the morning, we're all right.
Don't hold your breath. I'm sure that's going to happen.
Oh, you think they might do that?
Of course.
Wow, the moon looks great tonight. We should shoot that scene.
That's right.
Kaboom!
Yep. Big fireballs. Of course, I'm sure all the residents could probably just pull their lawn chairs out in their backyard and go, ooh, fireworks.
Yeah. I'm sure that's what they'll do.
Yeah. That's what I would do.
I mean, at 3:00 in the morning?
Well, hey,
Like, I love Star Wars, but even I would be pissed.
Oh, come on now. I'm sure they would give them notice, make an event out of it, right? We're going to shoot this big scene. There's going to be lots of fire. Yeah, it'll be cool. So.
Yeah, maybe. I guess if they do it that way. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
3:00 in the morning, I better get to come watch.
Right. Just so long as it's on the weekend. I don't want to have to get up for work afterwards.
Yeah, why didn't you come in today? I was up drinking beer watching Star Wars.
Yeah. No, for real Star Wars.
Yeah, like live, dude.
And that's when your boss thinks you've lost it. Okay.
I mean, I have a cough.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I was sick. Yeah.
Yep, sick. Very sick.
Yeah.
Very sick. Wouldn't pass a breathalyzer.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, hey, it happens, right?
That's right.
Happens. So yeah. Other thing, we were talking about what it was going to be used for, especially with the 3-year number.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
We said it probably would be multi-purpose if they have it for 3 years.
Yeah.
And it does sound like it will be multi-purpose, but as was first reported that it would be for Kenobi, it's sounding like it's actually for Andor.
Right. Which kind of makes sense in a way. We did talk about them being able to use this for different shows, and the set seems large enough that you could do shots from different angles and different corners of the set and have it be have a completely different look to it. Or if you put different facades on the buildings and stuff, that would work too. So I could totally see how it would work for Kenobi as well as Andor, but Andor seems to be the primary usage, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of saw that. It didn't look like Tatooine.
Right. You mentioned the red sand or dirt in the streets, the red.
Yeah. The red clay.
Clay, yeah.
Or brick or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yep.
And like you said, I mean, wow, bringing in the sand is going to be quite the endeavor.
That's right.
Especially since you look at that red and it's like, it looks like that was put there.
Right.
It doesn't look like what was there. I mean, I could be wrong. Once you level something out, what's under the topsoil, who knows, right? It all depends on region.
Yeah, exactly.
That could be what's in that region. Be like a clay.
Could be, but I'm not so sure. It also would not surprise me to see them, truck all this red dirt in, and then, okay, time for Kenobi. Truck all kinds of sand in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if that were clay under the topsoil, like, they didn't really take drainage into account, and they really don't want this to last 3 years.
Right. Yeah, I got a feeling that it's put there for the set. So
yeah, it definitely didn't look like the sands of Tatooine, and even the buildings look like we're like, oh, maybe it's somewhere we haven't really been familiar with, or maybe it's around the corner, and this is what it looks like around the corner. We only saw this, this neighborhood,
right?
But no, it definitely seemed like something else. And there was a lot of variety there, so it makes sense that it's going to be for multiple different things.
Yeah. That's cool. I mean,
yeah.
If they can utilize these sets for more stuff, that what that means? More stuff for us. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, and hell, what they built was as big as the town that's in the background, so
almost.
So yeah, neat,
definitely,
and glad to hear that. Like, they're not like just doing stuff that's upsetting people.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you keep that kind of behavior up, if that's what they were actually doing, that wouldn't last forever. Every time a Star Wars production would roll into any town, they'd be like, whoa, 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 no, we saw what you did over there. We don't want that here. Yeah,
right.
So yeah, good.
Yeah,
having the residents on board, that's a plus.
Yeah. So another thing to clean up.
Man, we sucked last week, didn't we?
Oh man, I was super critical of EA last week, like with good reason, I think. But I was super critical about, like, okay, you put your game out for free.
Oh yeah.
And then you have server crashes because you didn't expect an influx of players. It's like, what are you doing here?
Right.
It was free. You should expect a bunch of players. Well, okay, maybe I was a little harsh.
Okay.
Because it's looking like more than 19 million players picked it up from that promo.
Wow. So, okay, I got to ask. I mean, I'm sure you didn't have like a number in your mind, but what kind, how many people did you figure might download this thing?
I mean, I didn't really have a number in there, but like you said,
yeah.
But I'd probably think, okay, it's free. A lot of people that are super interested in playing it have probably played it at this point, right?
Right.
Because there's been tons of sales over, the past. I mean, this game came out in 2017,
right? So
there's been tons of sales in the, 3 years that it's been out. Because it was December 2017, I believe. So yeah, 3 years, right?
Right.
So in 3 years, there's been tons of sales. I figured people picked it up by this point. So I figured, 1 million, 2 million people, right?
Okay. Wow.
That seemed like a legitimate number.
Yeah.
19 is shocking.
That is, yeah. That is definitely shocking. It's a lot more than I would have figured.
And it's just PC.
Yeah. Wow. That makes it even more shocking. Do you figure this might be some console players that thought, hey, let's give this a shot on PC and see how it is, how the gameplay differs for them? Or,
I mean, maybe. I mean, there seems to be a new migration towards PC lately.
Right.
More and more people seem to be jumping on the PC bandwagon.
Okay.
And it makes sense as consoles, get closer and closer to PC price range.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's like, would it make more sense for me to, maybe invest in something that might last a little longer?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean,
and not only that, but outperform it by, pretty crazy amounts.
right. See, yeah. When it comes to talking performance on video games, yeah, I'm the wrong guy to be talking to because I think it all looks great, and
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the numbers, it's like it seems really, really drastic. The difference between playing on PC and you start looking at frames per second and just pure output graphically.
Oh, yeah.
On paper, it seems insanely drastic.
Right.
Even though they advertise it's not that drastic. Like, oh, they're catching up to PC. No, they're not.
Right.
But at the same time, I think game stability is the big plus to playing on PC.
Okay.
You just end up with a more stable gameplay experience. The latency and things you deal with on console networks and things like that. It's PC's got the edge.
Gotcha.
And even more so now that cross-platform is becoming a thing. People are feeling less obligated to stay on PC or stay on their console because they have friends that only play on console.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And they're like, well, I can just play on my PC.
Right.
Because there's a lot of gamers like myself. I have consoles. I have a PlayStation, I have an Xbox, I have a PC. And I have friends on each one of those.
Sure.
Well, as cross-platform becomes more and more prominent, I'm just migrating to my PC.
Gotcha. Because that's where
it's just a better experience.
Yeah, you get the best gameplay there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, and if I can still play with my friends that are sticking to Xbox and play on my PC and have them wonder why I'm so much better than them all of a sudden.
That's what it's all about, isn't it? Yeah.
It's like, man, you're doing really good tonight. Yeah, because I already loaded. You're at the screen still, dude.
Nice.
So, the 19 million though. That's nuts. So I was unfair.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have saw that coming.
Well, given the information we had at the time,
yeah,
it kind of made sense to I don't know what the right word is. Maybe throw a little shade towards EA's way, but maybe they felt that a little bit from the community and were like, whoa, hey, this is why that happened now,
like 19 million, yo.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, would you be ready for that?
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, normally I'm justified in my criticism of EA. This time I was not.
Right, well, at least we can admit these things around here, right?
Yes. So, and I'm happy to see Battlefront doing well, because the more and more it does well, the more and more there's a possibility that we get a next installment. So
yeah, I would think so too. And that's kind of what's exciting, that we were talking about last week. And if we could see a Battlefront 3, you're waiting from what you said, 2005. You've been waiting for.
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll just see.
We've come full circle.
Yes. Yeah. Still waiting.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on it. 15 years I've been waiting for this game.
Yes.
So, but this is an exciting time. Battlefront 2 turned out to be a fantastic game.
Yeah.
They corrected their wrongs. So I'm so excited for what Battlefront 3 could be. If they learned from everything and take everything they've done between 1 and 2 and combine it to make a super game in Battlefront 3, yeah, we're in for a treat.
That'd be awesome.
Not gonna hold my breath, but
Yeah, I mean, we can only hope that they're looking at this, the popularity of this free release as an indicator as to what moves to make next. So
yeah,
that'd be
I think
cool.
the right move is Battlefront 3.
Yes, I agree.
2021.
Whoa! Stop pushing now. Want it to be.
Hey, this one came out in 2017. What have you been doing all this time?
Well, okay, if it's already in development, fine. But if they're just now going, hey, maybe this is a good idea, I say let's give them some time to like make it good.
Yeah, I mean, the only way they're going to pull that off, I guess, is Battlefront 3, directed by J.J. Abrams.
Oh, hey, stop it now.
What?
Oh, nothing. I sensed a little sarcasm there. That's all.
Oh, there's tons of sarcasm. Me, sarcastic? No.
Every time.
Every time. Well, speaking of sarcasm.
Yeah.
Well, this article's not sarcastic, but
Okay.
but sarcasm made me think of this actor and roles he's played. So Alan Tudyk.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yes.
Okay.
I was going somewhere with this.
Yeah.
So Alan Tudyk, kind of put it out there. He was talking with Collider that K2SO is not going to be part of Andor initially.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. I was like, well, then why are we doing this?
Right. Exactly. It's like you've got to have that interaction between those two. For this show.
I mean, the two of them together. That's kind of like, it's a spy thriller kind of thing they've been going for, right? But you're almost kind of getting a buddy cop thing here too.
Yeah, absolutely.
That we were kind of looking forward to. I mean, this doesn't kill my excitement for the series at all. Like the way they're advertising this, it's going to be a new thing.
Right.
Like an espionage Star Wars is really awesome.
Yeah.
But so yeah, he was talking. He said they're shooting right now. I'm not in it, but if it stays on the air, I like that. Stories keep getting told. I'll end up in there.
Okay.
So we got to make this show successful, people.
Right. Yes. If there's anything you want to see out of an Andor series, it's Cassian and K2SO.
K2SO.
For sure.
Yes. So.
Well, maybe we'll get to see how K2SO came to be,
That's kind of what I'm gathering from this kind of announcement.
Yeah. So that's kind of interesting then. I kind of like that.
I'm not going to be in it right away.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you know what I like about that? If they're going to do this introduction thing, right? They're going to kind of show how these two came to be. That's not going to be the focal point of the story. Because they're not doing it in the first season. Right. So the story's about Cassian in the rebellion.
Yep.
It's not about his introduction to K2SO.
Right. Which, you gotta wonder then. I mean, we're gonna get to see some of the inner workings of the formation of the rebellion, maybe something like that.
Right, but we're also going to see it. Yeah, we're going to see it in a broad arc, right?
Yeah.
I think one of the downfalls for Solo was they did this movie that's not even 2 hours long, right? And in this, we got how he met Chewie, how he met Lando, how he got the Falcon.
Sure, yeah.
You know, how he did the Kessel Run. You know, like,
Yeah.
where's the arc here? Like, we're just going to go, here's a first, here's a first, here's a first, here's a first.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's all the stuff that we knew we had to hit in this.
Oh,
in
and
this
he had a first love in there.
Right.
And, you know, we got to tell that story too.
Yep.
So, yeah, they're gonna let this breathe, and they're gonna fill an arc here, which also makes it sound like this show's not going to be as limited as we may have initially thought, because we know Obi-Wan's going to be, or Kenobi is going to be, or Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Awful.
I'll be abbreviating to Kenobi. It just makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we know that's a limited series.
Yes. Yes.
We don't have any idea how long Andor is going to be.
Right. I mean,
and they haven't put that limited series tag on this yet.
Okay. But
I don't believe
you can only go so far with it. You know, I mean,
yeah, I mean, he's got to be about the age that he's going to be when he dies.
Exactly. He's going to look kind of the same, right? So, yeah. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm sure he can accomplish a lot in that time, but, you know, there's lots of stories to tell, but, you know, there's only so much they can squeeze out of there, I think.
I'd say a reasonable range, given, you know, the age that he's at, would be, I'd say somewhere between, maybe 5, not quite stretch into 10 years before.
Right.
So maybe 10 would be the absolute limit. 10 years before what happens.
Yeah.
You can stretch that, make it work. Makeup can handle that, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Obviously doing any CGI work would be just too expensive for a prolonged period, right?
Yeah, yeah. You mean the facial stuff?
The de-aging,
right?
So, yeah.
Well,
so you're looking at somewhere in a range of 5 to 10 years before the events of Rogue One. So there's a decent amount you can tell in that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
but
I don't, man.
Alan Tudyk doesn't hope this gets drug out too long.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He says, I do know this. I have to be on stilts for it because the character is 7'1". And I'm not one of those guys that says, somebody else do the motion capture and I'll voice it later. He says, I'll have to do the motion capture. And I turn 50 in March. So I hope they get to it soon because I'm not going to be on stilts in like 5 years. I'm not doing it.
Oh, nice.
So
yeah,
I understand.
I can't say I blame him there. That's
right.
Yeah.
But he does add a little reassurance at the end. He says, I'm going to be in the show. It's just that the story that Tony Gilroy is telling doesn't involve K2SO until later on. I can't be too specific, but I can definitely say that I'm not going to be in the first season.
Okay. Well, that pretty much confirms everything we've been talking about. I mean, not plot wise or anything, but you know, that he will be showing up just later, and hopefully the origin story where they meet and he gets reprogrammed and all that good stuff comes to us in subsequent seasons. That'd be cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the character.
Oh, there's no doubt.
it's really hard not to find, or it's really hard to find things in that film that are like, well, I didn't like that.
True.
You know, having just recently watched it again, I'm like, man, this is a really good film. And, you know, thinking of that and talking about Andor makes Andor that much more exciting because that was such a good movie.
Right.
So seeing more from that and told in that vein, right?
Yeah. For sure. That seems, man, for everyone that loved that movie, I could see them digging this show because it's gonna probably have the same feel, the same look. You know, it's set in the same era, clearly, and you know, that one would be prime. You know, you're talking about going back, maybe a possibility of 10 years. You know,
I don't think it'll go that far, but I'm just saying that's probably the limit.
Possibility, right? But I mean, who knows? We might be able to see the last remnants of you know, clone troopers integrated with stormtroopers, things like that. That might be, you know, that could be the sort of thing that they could throw in there that, you know, the savvy fans are going to pick up on and be like, hey, I see that, you know.
Yeah.
But who knows? I mean, you know, the creative forces, I'm sure, have like all kinds of good plans for us. So,
yeah, I'm looking forward to the build up to this show because this one is probably the one we know the least about.
Right.
And that's not saying a lot because we don't know jack about Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Exactly.
But
hey, we know there's going to be the show. That's
But see, the thing is, I think we feel like we know Obi-Wan Kenobi well enough as a character that we have an idea, right? We can imagine what that's going to be.
Right.
Cassian's still a relatively new character for us. Yeah, there's some, you know, complementing stories out there, but we don't. This is a character that has more mystery to him than Obi-Wan does.
It's true. Yes. Right.
It's hard to headcanon this one, right?
Yeah. I mean, we got one little glimpse at the beginning of the movie as to where his head's at, you know. Mm-hmm. And it was slightly shocking for everybody, I think, to see him just take out his contact when he had to. So I think we might be able to get to see kind of, you know, what situations put Cassian into that kind of headspace. So that should make for some good TV.
Yeah. Man, what good writing that was.
Right.
That set the tone for what you were about to see, because you were about to see not a happy story.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah. Exciting. And bummer to hear that K2 is not going to be there in the beginning, but we will see K2 at some point.
Yes, he'll get there.
And it will be Alan Tudyk.
It could be no one else.
It'd have to be Alan Tudyk. Have something to add to the conversation? Or you just want to let us know how we're doing? Email us, show@thewarsandmore.com. That's the best place to get in on the action. But if social media is a little more to your liking, @TheWarsAndMore on Twitter is always a good place to interact with us. And we're also on Facebook, facebook.com/TheWarsAndMore. And of course, your portal to this and everything else, The Wars and More, is thewarsandmore.com. All right, so looking at my notes here, Doug, you got the deets on this one, so I'm just going to pass this to you, let you take the lead here, buddy.
Okay, well, there's not like a whole lot of details to this other than what we are going to hear, but Gina Carano did an interview with Federalist TV a couple weeks ago, and there was a couple things in this interview that I thought were kind of cool to hear. And basically, she was asked a question. Was it hard to keep secrets doing these large franchise films that she's been able to do? And she obviously answers the question, but when she's doing so, it seemed to kind of like shed a little light on what it's like working on the set of The Mandalorian and working in particular for Jon Favreau. So check this out.
And so when you work for someone like him, and I'm not sure, so like you want to keep his secrets. You want to make sure that, this great man that you work for, which Jon Favreau is a great man, that you want him to be pleased at the end of the day. You want him to get his surprise, and you're rooting for this person. And also Dave Filoni. So keeping secrets was not hard for me, because one, I was like, I don't really know what I'm talking about in the first place, but at the same time, it was easy because we just wanted to respect. You really respected what we were a part of, so that wasn't really hard.
So interesting. I mean,
yeah.
Clearly with Star Wars, there's always big secrets to keep, right?
Right.
But it appears as though, even though she didn't have a lot of background in Star Wars prior to working on The Mandalorian, she understood the weight of it, and working with Jon Favreau, he's the type of, we'll say, leader in the workplace, I guess, to inspire you to, do your part in let's face it, when it came to the reveal of Baby Grogu, it was everything for that first episode, right? I mean,
right.
so everyone had to do their part for that,
This really lets you know the culture too, because this is something we keep hearing a lot of, is, we wanted to do it for them, right?
Right.
And it's the culture we're hearing from the set of The Mandalorian. It's a lot of this.
Yes.
And you know how you get there, right? As a leader, in order to get your team to want to do stuff for you, is you got to be there for them.
Absolutely.
So there's definitely this mutual respect going on. And, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have obviously created this culture where they are doing stuff because they want everyone that's working for them to succeed. And the response to that is they want the people they're working for to succeed,
Yes. And that's clearly the message I was getting from this. I think, it's just more evidence that what we've got going on there with the Mandalorian is, it's almost, God, I sound corny saying it, but it's almost magic. You know what I'm saying? It's like
it sounds legitimately fun.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there has not been a bad word said about any of this.
Right.
And it's astounding. Like, even just, crew members that have talked, not even people acting in it. It just sounds like the same thing. Like, I feel like I'm part of something special,
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that just sounds like a fun place to work.
Absolutely. Which, it's what we like to hear.
Well, Star Wars is supposed to be fun, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yes.
And what would be the best way to convey that this is supposed to be fun if it looks like everyone that's doing it is having fun doing it?
Yes.
So, yeah. Sounds like they're nailing it.
Absolutely. Okay. So that was the question about keeping secrets in general. So now she's asked if if it was hard to keep her family from trying to pry secrets out of her. So here's what she had to say about that.
My world to them, I don't think is that big of a deal. I think they're just like, they just love me and they're just happy. And every once in a while, like my mom told me over Christmas, she's like, oh my gosh, like I went into the dentist and then all these people are like, that's Gina's mom. And it's like, she's like, it's so weird, Gina. And I'm like, I know. And then she went into this toy store and she said, well, I'm looking for, because she was looking for my action figure, and she's like, that is my daughter. And I'm like, no, mom. And so the man who I still have to thank in Las Vegas, he gave my mom these like action figures, gave her a little baby Grogu, and it's just like they're just happy to be a part of it. They don't try to get secrets out of me. And there's one person I do tell secrets to. It would be my mom.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Hide.
Yeah, exactly. Gina's mom. After that, you better expect to
You're getting phone calls.
get some phone calls. Exactly. So, yeah, that's just funny. But it's cool to hear that little bit of behind the scenes, of the family ties there. I don't know. I don't know if you ever done this, but I've often, thought about how my family might react to, if I had ever been a famous rock star, right? Didn't happen, right? Anyway, it's kind of cool to hear that kind of story. I don't know. I dug it.
Yeah, I mean, I've thought about that. Like, if I ever, like you said, was a famous rock star, like my band made it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be like, hey, who am I going to have to stop talking to?
Yeah.
Who's going to be in it for the money?
Right. I don't know. It seems like she's got a very supportive family, though. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Family's just amazed that like everyone knows who she is now because that's Gina's mom.
Right.
So
yeah.
Kind of funny. I don't know.
It sounds like her family's like, you think I care about your make believe?
Right. All right. So there's one other thing she had to say here that was kind of interesting. Kind of has a little bit to do with the end of season 2 of The Mandalorian.
So the first season of The Mandalorian, I was like, just fill people's hearts, and this is great. The second season of The Mandalorian, especially towards the end scene with me and Pedro, like looking him, the scene that they didn't show is when he looks back at me, and I got to see his face for the first time, and I don't think they showed that. I haven't watched it all because I'm afraid to. I know that might sound silly.
So interesting. This is a scene that they apparently shot but didn't put in the final edit.
Yeah, it's crazy. 2 years on a set, she's never actually met the dude.
Yeah, you're funny. But okay, so we all remember
she didn't say it was the first time she saw Din's face. She said it was the first time she saw Pedro's face. I mean, words matter here.
Okay. I think we know what she meant. But he clearly took off the helmet for Grogu. Luke saw who he was, but apparently he was supposed to like look back and Kara was supposed to see his face, and how would that have changed things, or would it? Like, is he kind of gonna throw away this whole tradition of can't take the helmet off in front of anybody because
I think he did.
Yeah, he's kind of done it a couple times now, and he's seen the likes of Bo-Katan and crew do it, and they're getting away with it okay.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think the helmet's going to be, going forward, that's probably going to be less and less a big deal.
Right.
I mean, we can't make it a big deal anymore. They don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
So I got to say, and this is going to go back to the second clip that you played.
Okay.
I'm kind of wondering, are we going to see a Han kind of thing going on with Gragu?
So I did notice that she pronounced it that way. And I gotta say, I can't recall anyone else pronouncing the name that way, but is there someone else that you're aware of?
No, but was there someone else besides Billy D. Williams that called him Han?
True. George Lucas?
Did he call him Han?
In interviews, I believe. He would say, Han Solo. Yeah.
He was just stirring the pot.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, but who knows? It could be a thing. Yeah, Gragu. I mean, the only person that, has kind of like got firsthand interpretation there is Ahsoka. So,
Yeah. I mean, we don't even really have any indication that he shared his name with anybody else, right? I mean, I understand this is an interview that we're comparing this to, but
do
we even know that Cara Dune even knows his name?
Yeah, she might not. Yeah. That's funny. She might get on set and say, "Oh, hey, Gragu," and be like, whoa. Dave Filoni, it's not how you say it. It's
but
Gragu.
Also Dave Filoni. Oh, wait, maybe we can play with this.
yeah, exactly. Hey, you give me an idea.
Yeah. Han. This is good.
I like this. But hey,
Yeah. I just thought that was peculiar.
Yeah, it's a little funny. I will say it was a little funny, but
granted,
yeah.
She never spoke the name in the show. So
true.
And didn't she say right there, she didn't watch it? So
correct. Which, I have heard actors talked about that before. A lot of them don't like to watch stuff they've done because it, for whatever reason.
Well, I mean, at the same time, I've had people say, "Hey, you remember what you said on the podcast?" I don't listen to it.
Exactly. Yeah. We hope you all are enjoying. Yes.
Hey, if it's not in my notes, I don't remember.
Yes, exactly.
I just say stuff.
That's funny.
What, you think we got a script?
Yeah, that's good.
Script. Hell, we don't even have structure, right?
No, that's for sure.
We'll hop around wherever we want to go. But it's our show.
That's right.
Yeah, I always love that reaction, though. They're like, "Hey, you remember this you said?" It's I don't listen to it. They're like, "You don't listen to it?" It's no, dude, I see waves, and then I adjust things.
Right. Exactly.
If something looks like it shouldn't be there, I take it out.
That's kind of how it works.
I know what normal vocal patterns look like.
Yes.
Little house sausage is made.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting though. I do like hearing the same thing as far as how it is there, and I'm loving what I'm doing. This is a common theme.
Yeah.
And I dig it.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody involved in the project seems to be happy that they're involved with the project, and that's a good sign for us, because that means I don't know, there always seems to be somebody don't know who, looking for there to be drama. If you recall the whole Pedro taking off the mask thing and all that, and it's I don't know, just we have something good here,
right?
Let's just keep something good here. That's
I mean, the only controversy that I can think of that was real controversy is when dude says, it's not the real baby.
Yes. Yes.
Like, hey, way to steal the magic, bro.
Yeah, I know. I'm a professional.
Yeah. I know it's not real. It's fake.
Werner Herzog.
Yeah. Yep. Good stuff.
Good stuff. Yes.
You almost need that though, right? You almost need a one guy that's like super serious.
Oh yeah, of course. Of course.
Because then it puts everything else into perspective.
Oh yeah. Like, you know, this whole thing's a good time.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, for sure.
You almost need the one guy to go, you know it's fake, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I knew I was missing something.
Yeah.
Here, I thought it was real.
Hey, come on now. Growing up, there was always that person. You know Star Wars isn't real, right? Yeah. Got that one.
Well, not anymore. It was a long time ago, you jackass.
Exactly.
Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's over with.
Yeah. That's funny.
Can't you read?
Oh.
All right. So last thing here. We're
Yeah.
talking about The Mandalorian. So filming.
Uh-huh.
You know, we saw that the Book of Boba Fett was coming out in December.
Right.
So that's thrown a lot of questions up. Like, when are we going to see The Mandalorian?
Right.
You know, is it going to be before that? Is it going to be after that? Well, we got a little clue.
Okay.
So, filming is set to begin April 5th, which tells me it'll be after.
Yeah.
Because I know they're good, but that's ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly.
If it's going to be before.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say that's about what we could expect, you know. About a year from filming to see the show. So we're probably looking at early 2022.
Yeah.
Which
So I'd say spring. Spring would probably be a safe bet.
right. And
March or April.
I understand, you know, everyone is chomping at the bit to see what happens moving forward in The Mandalorian, but you know, we are going to have other Star Wars in the meantime, so
Mhm.
you know, that other and new stuff should be able to tide us over, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, 2022 is when we're going to see things kick into high gear, right?
I believe so, yeah. Yeah.
So is the first film 2022 or 2023?
It got pushed back to 23, I believe.
Okay, so 23, but you're going to start to see promotional content most likely by the end of 2022.
Right.
You got, you know, you're going to be wrapping up Book of Boba Fett.
Yep.
You're going to get The Mandalorian. And am I correct in saying The Acolyte was 2022?
I don't recall that one, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I just know, well, I'm not sure exactly what the slate's going to be for these others, but, you know, we are going to have Andor. We're going to have Kenobi, you know, all of these things going on as well. So, like, shortly thereafter or something, you know, I mean.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're definitely going to have stuff to talk about. That's for sure.
Yes. So we won't be wanting for Star Wars. That's for sure.
Won't we, though?
What's that?
I said, won't we, though? Like, like, is it ever enough?
Oh. Hey, we got nothing to complain about. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, if we dig deep, we might.
I'm not saying there's people not complaining. I mean, people are definitely complaining all the time, but there's really nothing for us to complain about. That's
Right.
We should want for no more Star Wars. I shouldn't say that. We should not be left wanting for more Star Wars. How's that?
Yeah,
There will
I mean,
be plenty coming.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't 2004 anymore, right? Like,
Exactly. Or Worse yet, like 1990. You guys.
Yeah, I mean, I really wasn't in the game then.
Yeah, I was. That was like smack dab in the middle of nothing. So,
I mean, I was kind of in the game because I had seen it by then, but yeah, I wasn't in the game like I am now,
right.
or even like I was in '99. So
around that era, that was just real quick. That was like that was a moment in time when, you know, you liked Star Wars, but it was just getting old enough to where people were like, oh, that's old. That's, you know, old news, nothing, you know. People were, how do I put it, kind of falling out. It was falling out of favor with some of the, you know, social groups around me.
Yeah, I mean, you're approaching a decade of nothing for,
right,
you know, the masses, right?
Yep. And then there was nothing on the horizon, and we would hear nothing about any Star Wars on the horizon for like another 5 or 6 years. So, right. Yeah. So it was definitely like a doldrums there for sure.
Right. I mean, yeah. So like being a prequel era, you know, fan, like I got the Dark Times light, right?
Yeah.
I didn't get the full strength Dark Times.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even then we had things to consume, you know, because Revenge of the Sith came out in 2005, and then it was what, 2008 we got the Clone Wars movie and subsequently the TV show. So,
right,
you know, it wasn't quite so long.
Well, I mean, I compare it to just the theatrical thing. Yeah, I got the Clone Wars and stuff in there. I'm saying like live action Star Wars though.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I had a little bit of a lull, not like you guys had.
Right.
But I mean, I love the Clone Wars and everything, but there's still that clamor for the live action stuff.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
You know, that's when Star Wars is at its best and firing on all cylinders. Even though the Clone Wars was damn good.
Oh yeah.
It was damn good. But I didn't see the Clone Wars movie several times in theaters.
Right, yeah. Neither did I.
So now I probably would have watched, like, if they would have made the Siege of Mandalore theatrical release, yeah, I probably would have saw that several times.
Yes, exactly.
Oh man, that was good.
That was good.
But yeah, I digress.
Yes.
So if you have anything to add to the conversation, you can always email us, show@thewarsandmore.com. It's the best way to get a hold of us. We're also on social media. We're at The Wars and More on Twitter, facebook.com/thewarsandmore. You find all that and all of the ways to find the show over at thewarsandmore.com. Any final thoughts this week, Doug?
No, I think that about covers it.
All right. We will talk next week.